This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
Good evening, and first up here at 5, as predicted, rain and thunderstorms are making their way across parts of our viewing area, and that could slow down the evening commute.
It's a Storm Team 6 alert day. Meteorologist Kyle Mounts is watching for when these storm clouds move out. Kyle.
Yeah, and we do need some rainfall here. We don't need severe weather, and I don't think that that's going to be widespread for us this evening, but Storm Team 6 radar is showing that over the last couple of hours, we've really seen these downpours kind of popping up and sliding to the east and southeast across central Indiana. You can see where we've got some of those heavier downpours now in northern Shelby County, also stretching here along and south of Interstate 70, south of Newcastle, and in north of the Rushville area. Also around Richmond, another downpour just kind of dotting the landscape. Another one around Lebanon right now. Nothing severe out here, but certainly have some heavy rain and lightning. This sliding to the southeast into Noblesville about 5:20. We've got some more showers and storms back into Illinois. So as we go through the next few hours here, we'll continue with a few of these showers and storms sliding from northwest to southeast across central Indiana. But by midnight, I think the rain threat going to be winding down. We'll talk about the air to move in behind this in your Friday forecast in a few minutes.
Unity, that we're strong and that we can care for each other in the way that we as human beings know how to do.
Just one day after an armed high school student was arrested outside of Muncie Central High School, miles away, the community is coming together for a vigil.
Yeah, they are remembering the lives lost this past weekend after 2 mass shootings. But as our Nicole Griffin is finding out, yesterday's close call in Muncie is a reminder of the need to come together and unite now more than ever.
Students and faculty will head back to class here at Ball State University in just over a week, and today they held a vigil. The goal was not only to mourn and honor those killed in mass shootings over the weekend in Dayton and El Paso, but to unite this community ahead of a new school year.
I thought, not again, not again.
Sarah Mahboubi says mass shootings are becoming all too familiar. Today she stood side by side with faculty and community members on Ball State's campus, remembering those who lost their lives this past weekend in mass shootings. She held a sign that says, "We can end gun violence." Mahboubi is a Ball State alumna and still lives in Muncie. She says hearing about a 15-year-old arrested with a gun outside of Muncie Central High School yesterday hits close to home. Knowing schools are often targets of violence, she hopes today's vigil serves as a call to action for the community to come together, reaffirm values of respecting each other and our differences.
We are all just folks, aren't we? We're all just muddling through this life and trying to make it better. And our motto should be to respect each other and to realize that this is not normal. This should not become our new normal.
Coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, I talked to Ball State's Dean of Graduates about the messages he hopes those who attended the vigil take away heading into the new school year, and why he thinks it's important to address the feelings some are experiencing after mass shootings and give people a space to gather and reflect. Working for you in Muncie, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Thank you, Nicole, for that. Happening right now, a vigil in Columbus, Indiana, to honor or remember those killed in El Paso and Dayton. This is a live look at Columbus City Hall. The Columbus chapter of Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America organized the event. One of the organizers says she believes the recent shootings may be the tipping point for lawmakers to enact stricter gun laws while still protecting Second Amendment rights.
New developments in the investigations following those shootings in El Paso and Dayton. 31 families are now planning funerals as authorities learn more about the suspects and a possible missed opportunity to stop the shooting in Texas. ABC's Rachel Scott joins us from Washington, D.C., where the president is back following visits to both communities.
In the 24 hours following the president's visit, grief has turned to mounting anger and frustration as authorities work to clear the crime scene.
I don't want to get gory here, but the scene is picking up human remains actually there.
The president and first lady touched down in Dayton and El Paso yesterday. The two communities who just hours apart were devastated by those deadly mass shootings.
All over the world they're talking about the job you've done.
The president welcomed with a mixed reaction. Some protesters lining the streets in both cities, blaming his rhetoric for inciting the violence. Authorities say the suspected shooter in El Paso set out to kill as many Mexicans as possible. Inside that Walmart, Elsa Mendoza, an elementary school teacher, killed in the shooting. Her remains were returned to Mexico. ABC News is learning there's evidence of a missed opportunity to stop that shooting. The mother of the El Paso suspect, Patrick Crucius, contacted police to express concern about the assault rifle her son had bought weeks before the massacre. Her lawyer says she was transferred to a public safety officer who told her that because her son was old enough to buy weapons, there was nothing the police could do. In Ohio, the other state ravaged by violence, police are still searching to find out why that gunman opened fire on a busy entertainment district in Dayton.
My focus is getting something done around gun control so this terrible, tragic incident in Dayton may not have to happen in other places.
And since those two deadly shootings, support is growing for gun reform legislation. But the halls of Congress are empty. Lawmakers are on an August recess, so any immediate action on the issue will be put on hold. Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
And after the shootings in Texas and Ohio, Indiana Senator Mike Braun says it's now time for action in Congress. He says he's in support of a federal red flag law similar to the state law here in Indiana. A red flag law allows courts to issue orders barring a potentially dangerous person from possessing guns. Indiana was one of the first few states to enact a red flag law. Now more than 10 other states have it on their books. Today, Senator Braun said he supports it for the entire country.
Anybody that is a strong believer in the Second Amendment ought to know that if we don't do common sense things to take guns away from folks that use them the wrong way, we are going to hurt our ability to keep and bear arms in the future.
A similar federal red flag bill was proposed last year, but it didn't gain much traction. Braun is among a growing number of Senate Republicans to support red flag laws.
The Anderson man accused of shooting his pregnant girlfriend is charged in her shooting and the death of the twin she was carrying. Skylar White is accused of shooting Alexis Wasson in the head in the early morning hours of August 2nd in Anderson. Investigators say he did not seek immediate medical attention, and according to court documents, White told his mother it was an accident. Wasson was pregnant and 21 weeks along with twin boys at the time she was shot. The first unborn twin died Tuesday. The second twin died Wednesday afternoon. Wasson is still on life support. White is charged with feticide.
It's been a long journey, but for one West Side community, the work and the wait were worth it. City leaders came together with people who live in Drexel Gardens today to celebrate the successful installation of dozens of new street lights through Operation Nightlight. Community members say this whole thing started nearly a decade ago with the Neighborhood Crime Watch focusing on needed street lights. Then in 2016, when Operation Nightlight launched, Ramona Ward and her family went to work on research.
For the next 2 months, night and day, my husband Bud, with his paper, pencil, and rulers, sat at the table drawing all the streets and houses for Drexel Gardens. At night, he would go out and check the streets to see where it was dark, where the lights were, and places that needed new lights put in.
Leaders say none of this would be possible without the hard work of community members like Ramona and Bud. The neighborhood got 29 lights installed in all. This project will eventually bring up to 4,000 new street lights to Indy by the year 2025.
This 35-year-old Greenwood man is now charged with a felony in the beating death of his mother's 16-year-old border collie. On August 1st, the Johnson County Prosecutor's Office filed a charge against Michael D. Lucas of killing a domestic animal, which is a level 6 felony. The investigation began July 28th after Lucas's sister called police to report video that allegedly shows Lucas attacking the dog in the house. A level 6 felony carries a potential penalty upon conviction of 6 months to 2.5 years in prison. An urgent warning tonight from a local animal shelter. The Humane Society of Putnam County says it cannot receive any cats or kittens at this time. The shelter says it is at capacity. In a Facebook post, the Humane Society says infectious diseases spread quickly and frequently in these conditions, which is why they are not going to accept cats or kittens. It is unclear how long this will last.
The Colts open the preseason tonight on the road against the Buffalo Bills. It's a chance for the team to put what is learned in training camp to the test. It also helps players who are trying to make the team show what they can do on the field. Tonight's kickoff in Buffalo is at 7 p.m.
Still ahead at 5:30 on RTV6. World War II ended almost 75 years ago. The way one veteran got home after the war is forever engraved in his memory. How he's now taking a trip back in time, and we go along for the ride.
But first, here at 5 o'clock, it's a new school year, but a familiar worry for parents and students: bullying. The important signs to look out for in your child and why you always need to pay attention. Kyle.
And we are tracking some downpours and thunderstorms moving through central Indiana this evening. I'll let you know what you can expect from these as they move through. You're watching RTV6 News at 5.
2019 Ram 1500 for $259 a month.
Now, a major traffic alert for you. You'll have to deal with another interstate closure beginning tomorrow night. I-465 is going to be closed for 15 days on the southeast side of the city beginning tomorrow at 9 p.m. And it will mainly impact drivers in the Beach Grove area. East and northbound lanes of I-465 will be shut down from I-65 to I-70. This work will last until August 24th. After Labor Day on September 6th, the Indiana Department of Transportation will close the same stretch of highway going the opposite direction. That will last until September 21st. You can find all of the latest road work closures at theindychannel.com and on our RTV6 app.
A coroner says the cause of death has been ruled undetermined for a 12-year-old boy who died after becoming ill while riding a roller coaster at Indiana Beach Amusement Park. The White County coroner issued the ruling Wednesday after he says an autopsy on Braden Cooper Douglas of Lafayette revealed no trauma, injury, congenital abnormalities, or toxins. The boy died June 27th after becoming ill while riding the Hoosier Hurricane roller coaster at Indiana Beach.
Hiring Hoosiers is an RTV6 initiative to make sure you're connected to a job you love. From classroom to career, Noblesville High School students are getting firsthand experience through their internship program. Juniors will sit down with counselors to see what they're interested in and connect them to local businesses. Seniors like Jack Judy will go every other day to their internship for 3 hours. At the end of the school year, they create a portfolio of all the work they've done. For Jack, he's excited to jump into building medical equipment through his internship. And one former student says this opportunity cleared up a path to her college decisions.
I'm looking forward to working with people who are in the field, who can teach me more about engineering, and so they can help me make the final decision of, is this something I want to pursue in college?
I don't want to have to spend more time in college than was necessary. So being in my internship program and really solidifying what I wanted to do before I went to college has actually really helped me.
They also learn soft skills which focus on initiative, responsibility, and confidence, all things that businesses will look for in a person they will want to hire one day.
Most students around central Indiana are now back in school. With the new school year, though, comes a familiar concern: bullying. Working for you, the warning signs you as parents should be looking out for. The National Center for Education Statistics says fewer than half of all students who were bullied will tell an adult about it. That's where you come in. The National Center for Education Statistics says girls are more likely to be bullied than boys, but boys are more likely to be pushed, tripped, and spit on. And cyberbullying has changed everything, turning bullying into a 24/7 hassle. Cyberbullying affects LGBTQ students more than double the rate of heterosexual students. The co-founder of the group, Equality Nevada, Trevor Harder, says parents need to talk to their kids as soon as possible.
Don't downplay it. It is something that is serious, and students feel very disempowered when they do say that they are being bullied.
Harder says there are subtle signs your kid is being bullied: a drop in grades, sudden change in mood or interests, a loss of friends, and the list goes on. So checking in with your kids often is important to make sure their time in school is not a nightmare.
Willie Nelson has canceled some of his August tour dates because of a health issue, but he's still planning to perform in Indy this September. Nelson's Outlaw Music Festival tour is scheduled to make a stop at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center on Friday, September 20th. Nelson made the announcement on social media following his show in Toledo, Ohio, Wednesday evening. He initially said he was canceling the tour, but Nelson's production company later clarified that Nelson was not canceling the entire tour, only a handful of shows in August.
Kyle Mounds now joins us with a look at our forecast. It is a Storm Team 6 alert day.
Yeah, we've got some thunderstorms moving through parts of central Indiana. Nothing that's severe out there right now. Can't rule out, though, an isolated, strong or severe storm. Storm Team 6 radar, it is active this evening. You can see a couple of those warnings into Ohio. Had one warning earlier for Jay County. That has expired. You can see, though, some heavier rainfall stretching from around Richmond along I-70 there, south and southwest of Newcastle. And then we've got another thunderstorm here, southern portions of Boone County, south of Lebanon. Can't rule out some hail with that one, indicating possibly around 1 inch in diameter or so as it slides off to the east and southeast in toward the Speedway area at 524 and Cumberland at 542. A couple more showers here kind of falling apart, though, from portions of White County just to the north of Logansport, and then we work our way back along I-74, and you can see some stronger storms here just to the southwest of Williamsport, possibly some hail in that one as well. So any isolated warnings, good idea. Make sure you've got that Storm Shield app ready to go on your phone. Any thunderstorm warnings would be sent right to you. And of course, you got that radar at your fingertips. The rain, it'll cool us down a little bit. It has been a warm and muggy day here in central Indiana. 92 in Bloomington is what it feels like. 86 the air temperature, feels like 91 in Indianapolis, as those downpours have just missed the airport. But officially, other areas around Indy feeling a little bit cooler after some of that rain. 80 degrees at 7 o'clock. We'll be in the mid-70s by 9. A few thunderstorms this evening, but I think by the time we reach midnight, that rain will have moved out of the Hoosier state. Temperatures by tomorrow morning, most areas in the lower to middle 60s. Some spots like Peru and Kokomo may dip into the 50s briefly, but then as we plan out your Friday here, lots of sunshine. We'll get the rain chances out of here, and we'll also notice a drop in that humidity tomorrow afternoon, with temperatures making their way seasonal as we get into the middle 80s. 85 in Greenwood, 82 for you in Danville and Muncie at 83 degrees on Friday afternoon. And looking ahead to the weekend, we're almost there. We've got a high of 85, lots of sunshine Saturday, and expecting mainly dry weekend conditions for us. On Sunday, a high that will get close to 90 degrees, and that may spark just an isolated shower or storm Sunday afternoon. 7-day planning forecast, put it all together here for you, and there we've got that dry stretch of weather through the weekend with highs back around 90 degrees into the lower 90s on Monday before another better chance of rain rolls our way on Tuesday. But it is getting pretty dry, so if you can get some rain, that is certainly some good news.
It'll help the lawns, I'm sure. All right, thank you, Kyle.
Well, scientists now say Earth's magnetic poles are shifting.
The North Magnetic Pole is going across the Canadian Arctic, heading towards Siberia at 34 miles per year. It has caused scientists to update the world magnetic model used by militaries and in civilian navigation systems a year early.
Magnetic poles move until they swap locations. This means the magnetic North Pole will eventually end up at the geographic South Pole. This reverses Earth's polarity.
Scientists don't expect a full reversal to take place over the course of a human life, but if it did, it could impact satellites, navigation, and communications on Earth. A rodeo parade turns into the Wild West. We'll show you what happened after this bull escaped from cowboys. Next.
And Keller, right now.
A very good day to you. I'm Julie Grant with Court TV, and we're bringing you gavel-to-gavel coverage of a harrowing murder trial happening right now in Tennessee. Defendant Eric Boyd is facing first-degree murder and rape charges, as well as a slew of other charges for his alleged role in a vicious attack on a young couple in West Knoxville. Now, here's the twist. That attack took place about 12 years ago, and at the time, Boyd was convicted in federal court for being an accessory after the fact to the crime. But now, the state of Tennessee is moving forward with a prosecution, believing they have enough evidence to convict Boyd for directly participating in the rape and murders of Christopher Newsom and Shannon Christian. The star witness for the state is a guy named George Thomas. He is a jailhouse witness who's serving 2 life sentences for his role in this gruesome crime. Here's what the convicted killer had to say on the stand yesterday.
When you saw the 3 flashes, who did you see pulling Mr. Newsom?
Mr.
Boyd. Now, in exchange for his testimony in this trial, Thomas will get his life sentences reduced to 50 years. Will Thomas, though, convinced this jury that Eric Boyd was not only at the scene of the crime, but participated in these horrific murders. Thomas was cross-examined this morning, and the mothers of both victims took the stand. Stay with Court TV Live for gavel-to-gavel coverage of Tennessee versus Eric Boyd. I'm Julie Grant. Now back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Julie. And you can stream Court TV Live anywhere 24/7 at courttv.com.
A rodeo parade is fairly common out west.
But in Colorado Springs, one such parade turned into the Wild West. Onlookers running away as a big bull charged toward a modern art gallery.
Yeah, the cowboys tried several times to lasso the animal, but he got away and out into the street. Finally, one of those cowboys was able to get the bull under control. Luckily, no one was hurt in this.
But what a scary situation. I guess the bull finally decided he had enough of being tied down.
Tied down. Look at that. Quite the chaos. Coming up all new at 6 on RTV6, how would you like to spend the night with your kids at Lucas Oil Stadium after a Colts game? We've got all the details about the stadium sleepover tonight at 6.
But first on the Now Indy, it's always good to do what you love, the event that shows you how to take your passion to help yourself and others. You're watching RTV6.